Hello and welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not. I am Dr. Jack, and on this channel the focus is on helping you live a healthier, happier, and wiser life through knowledge. And I wanted to shoot a quick video and essentially thank all the viewers and subscribers for your support of the channel thus far. You know, I never thought that when I started shooting these videos in the very beginning that I would be at over 560 subscribers within a few short months and have nearly 9,000 views. It's been a very humbling experience for me, and so for that I really thank you. I am a long shot away from being Mr. Beast. For those of you that don't know, he's a YouTuber and actually a fellow North Carolinian as well, and he has tens of millions of subscribers. I'll put a link down below to one of his more favorite videos, and actually the video that kind of inspired me, and it was one where he goes to a bank and basically opens up a free bank and gives away money to people, and was from that video that really motivated me and sparked my interest in how much good you can do in the world by creating YouTube content. And so Mr. Beast, if you're watching, which I highly doubt you are, thank you. I'll go over things such as how I got started, why I got started, as well as encourage you to consider creating a YouTube channel as well, and the reasons as to why. And at the very least, maybe this will be a fun video to kind of look back on one day and see if I've grown at all or if I'm still at where I am today. So stay tuned and let's just jump straight into it. I've actually been batting around with the idea of starting a YouTube channel for quite some time, and it was what I viewed an amazing way to essentially get education out there and do more good in the world by helping to educate and teach people. And I love teaching. It's one of my passions in life. I thought, what better way to reach a broad audience than to post it on some form of social media, and YouTube being the second most popular search engine that's out there, there's essentially no better place than to start on YouTube. It kind of taps into where I believe in being a lifelong student in life and always looking to learn. And if you can take that and then teach somebody else something that may benefit them, well, I don't think there's any greater reward than doing something like that. So how did I start? I started actually when, like many of you, I was furloughed during the great pandemic of 2020. And so for the first time in 11 years, I found myself having more than a week off at a time, and I didn't know really what to do with my time. I thought, hey, yeah, why not? I'll start researching into all that it takes to basically get a YouTube channel started. And boy, it takes a lot of research, and there was just so much to learn in regards to equipment you need, the lighting effect, as well as sound, and what content to create, and the editing. Oh my God, so much to know about editing and kind of going through it. It's by far, in my opinion, the most consuming part of it all, that in the research prior to creating some type of video. Yeah, I was doing all that, and I noticed that I was getting way too involved in researching all of it and trying to find out everything I possibly can before getting started, and I was losing momentum. So at that point, I knew that I had to just push record, as they would say in Think Media, which is another popular YouTube channel that teaches you how to start on YouTube. So I pressed record, and that was a result of my very first YouTube video titled Pain Doctor's Opinion on CBD, and that was actually just shot on my iPhone. And so you really don't need a ton of fancy equipment to get started. And some of you may be wondering, why on earth do I have so many videos talking about CBD? And the reason was I wanted to lead with something that I am passionate about. And I have probably spent no less than 1,000 hours researching and suggesting CBD and understanding it, how it works, why it works, not just CBD, but all cannabinoids and the cannabis plant in general. And when I got through all that research, I essentially found myself wanting to teach this information to other people, because I realized that there was such a void of knowledge out there in this space. And that void actually is filled with a lot of stereotypes and misunderstandings, and people just didn't know what they didn't know about it, including the medical field and not just society at large. And so prior to being on lockdown and not being able to go out and congregate in groups of people, I was actually going out and giving free talks to anyone that would listen and educating them about cannabinoids, and I could be in the room with a bunch of doctors and I could give the whole 1 hour long talk, and at the very end inevitably somebody will raise their hand and make the joke basically saying that, oh, so I'm just going to give CBD to people and get them high. And I mean, for those of you that understand the cannabis plant and the difference between CBD and other cannabinoids like THC, I mean, that couldn't be further from the truth, right? Again, that's a much more kind of detailed discussion. If you're interested, please feel free to dive into my other videos. But that is the reason why so many of my videos at the current moment are about CBD. So please feel free to check those out and leave me your thoughts on all of that. Again, going back to the beginning, I was furloughed and I started recording and putting out content, and I thought I was just going to do it while I was furloughed. I had no idea how long I was going to be furloughed for. Didn't think I would continue it afterward, only because it's pretty time consuming to do these videos right in regards to the research and editing and everything. But the handful of videos I had completed in between getting furloughed and going back to work, I started getting feedback on them, and it was mainly the colon cancer one that I did and talking about screening and everything else. The motivation behind that was when Chadwick Boseman, those of you who don't know, he was the Black Panther actor, seemed like a great guy, died of colon cancer at a very young age, and just very tragic story. And that motivated me to create that video. And when I created it, I started having people tell me that, thanks to your video, I actually got motivated to finally go out and get screened, either them, their loved one. And there was actually one guy that got screened and they found a precancerous polyp in his colon and he had it removed. That was essentially all the motivation I needed. That was a very powerful moment for me, where I really realized how much good I can do on sort of a broader scale by putting out these types of videos. And one analogy that I use often is essentially the bridge and stream analogy, meaning that there's a broken bridge upstream and people are falling in the water, and downstream there's me, and like many of you, I'm there and I'm pulling people out of the water and I am resuscitating them sort of one by one. And that's how I view going to work, working in a clinic, kind of giving this very focused direct care to each individual at a time. But there's only so much that you can do in a given day to offer good quality care while essentially getting to as many people as you can, because there's just only so many hours during a day. And so what I really would like to do with every passing year just became more obvious in my career, and that I would like to be more at the bridge, by helping to fix the bridge and try to do more good on a broader level and keep people from falling in the water, if you will. So with YouTube and content creation, it really sort of allowed that for me. Now I feel like I'm kind of lingering and hanging out at the bridge, if you will. I don't know if this is a good analogy, but you get my point. Because even by creating just one video, and if you are so inspired to go and create video, if the information that you put out there into the world, if it helps just one individual, in my opinion, it was worth the sacrifice of your time to create that content, because it really made a difference in someone else's life, and not only may change their life, but also may save their life as well. And so you never know what you don't know, and how much good you can do in the world till you try. And what better time than now, right? In 2020, when there's a pandemic going on. And I could tell you that when I go to work every day in the clinic, the amount of people that are suffering currently, whether it's financially, psychologically, emotionally, or physically, has gone up significantly. These are really tough, trying times for everyone. So anything that somebody can do to help another individual, I think is something worth looking into. And the other reason I would encourage you to start creating videos is the ability to tap into your creative side. And it's a very liberating feeling, especially as a doctor. You may or may not know, but the day you decide to become a doctor, the roadmap is set for the next, umpteen years of your life, right? You are in college and, you got to take organic chemistry, physics, then you got to take the MCAT, which is the standardized test, apply to medical school, go through 4 years of that, then come out, you're getting tested like crazy. There's the popular analogy that you're trying to literally drink from a fire hydrant, and because there's just so much information being thrown at you during that time. So you get through that, then you apply to internship, followed by residency. If you want to subspecialize, you apply to fellowship, and then you come out and you practice. And the whole time you're putting your head down, just kind of barreling through it and trying to get out the other end. So that more taps into the left side of your brain, which is more for kind of linear thinking and math and science and things, logistics and things like that. The right side of the brain is more about creativity, the arts. That is sort of the other thing that I really enjoyed about this. In healthcare, especially as a clinician, you kind kind of come out the other end and you realize that what you do on a day-to-day basis is really very powerfully dictated by the healthcare system and the special interests that are involved in it. And so to be able to sit down, think of something that I think may be beneficial, and to create that content, create it however you want to create it, and put it out there is extremely powerful and very satisfying as well. So I wanted to say all that partially to, again, thank you all for your support for this. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing if you like what you've heard, as well as hitting the like and notification button. I hope that I've motivated you to possibly consider creating your own YouTube channel and going out there and start spreading any type of knowledge that you may know, because I'm of the belief that everybody has something to share that may benefit somebody else. And also, just real quick, to kind of teach a little bit more about YouTube and everything, and why every YouTuber, including myself, say, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. The reason is because of the YouTube algorithm. And when you like a video, when you comment, when you hit subscribe and the notification button, well, the notification button just tells you when a new video comes out, but the previous three, when you do that, what ends up happening is that the algorithm sees interest in these videos and is building up a lot of activity, if you will, and that will put the video out. And this bird is chirping behind me, sorry if that bothers you, but the algorithm will basically put that video out to other people's homepage on YouTube that will get exposed to the video and possibly click on the video. And so what you're doing is helping to support the channel and sort of spread the knowledge of the content that's within that video. So a thumbs up and a subscribe, as well as commenting, really makes a big difference. So with that, I'll leave you. Again, thank you all for your support, and it's really meant the world to me. I will continue to put out content as long as you guys have found it helpful and people continue to watch. And so until next time, stay safe, take care, bye-bye, Pura Vida.